You're spending $30 on a jar of black garlic at Whole Foods. Meanwhile, your great-grandmother made something stronger than that. In her kitchen with less than $3 in 10 minutes flat. Not raw garlic, not roasted garlic, not some capsule from a supplement brand. I'm talking about fermented garlic, and it has existed for thousands of years before the food industry decided to bottle it up, slap a label on it that says aged garlic extract, and sell it back to you at 10 times the price. The question isn't whether it works. Science already answered that. The real question is, why did we forget it in the first place? And more importantly, how do you get it back today with what you already have in your kitchen? Welcome back to Forbidden Amish Roots. This is not a wellness trend. This is not something an influencer invented last year. Fermented garlic has been around for thousands of years, and it was never considered special. It was just food. In Korea, fermented black garlic, known as hyukmal, has been documented for centuries. Farmers would slow heat garlic bulbs in clay vessels for weeks at a time, not because they had a fancy recipe, because they knew it lasted longer, hit harder, and didn't tear up the stomach the way raw garlic did. In the Mediterranean, garlic was preserved in vinegar and brine as far back as ancient Greece and Rome. Soldiers carried it on long campaigns. Not supplements, not powders. Just garlic sitting in a jar, doing its work over time. In the Middle East, fermented and aged garlic was a staple. This was the medicine long before modern pharmacology existed. This was not the food of the wealthy. This was the food of the worker, the farmer, the family that couldn't afford a doctor, and needed something that actually worked through the winter. The knowledge was simple, and the process was direct. The ingredients were cheap and accessible, and the results were consistent enough for everyone that people kept doing it for generation after generation until they didn't. In the 1940s, penicillin changed everything. Suddenly, there was a pill for every infection, a shot for sickness delivered in an instant, a bottle from the pharmacy that promised to fix you fast. And the cultural message became clear. New equals better, and modern equals superior. And anything your grandmother did in the kitchen, it was all dismissed as just mere superstition. The food industry figured something out early. They cannot make money from something you make yourself. You cannot patent a jar of honey and garlic. You cannot trademark fermentation. So instead, they built a system that made you forget you ever knew how. Processed food replaced home preservation. Convenience culture replaced kitchen knowledge, and the chain of knowing broke. The chain that used to go from grandmother to mother to daughter, that chain of knowing how to keep yourself healthy without spending $1 and snapped quietly, somewhere around the 1960s and 70s, and nobody announced it was gone. Nobody marketed fermented garlic to you because there was nothing to sell. So it disappeared from the conversation, not because it stopped working, because silence is cheaper than education when you're trying to sell something else. Here is where it gets interesting. Raw garlic is powerful, but there's more to the story. Nobody is arguing that, as it is a well-known fact in nutrition. The compound that makes it work is called allicin. It's what gives garlic that sharp, aggressive bite. And yes, allicin has real antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. But here's the problem with raw garlic. The fact is that allicin is an inherently unstable compound. It breaks down quickly after you crush it. It's hard for the body to absorb efficiently, and for a lot of people, the smell and taste can be quite overwhelming. Eating raw garlic on an empty stomach in the morning is a one-way ticket to a very bad morning. When garlic ferments, something different happens. The allicin converts into a compound called acetylcysteine. Acetylcysteine is water-soluble, which means your body absorbs it far more efficiently. It's stable, it doesn't degrade as fast as raw allicin, and it does not irritate the gut lining the way raw garlic can. Studies comparing fermented black garlic to raw garlic have shown antioxidant activity anywhere from 2 times to 7 times higher, depending on the fermentation method and duration. Now let's talk about cost. A jar of honey fermented garlic made at home will cost you roughly $2 to $3 in ingredients. A bottle of aged garlic extract at Whole Foods runs anywhere from $25 to $40. Same biological process. One happens in your kitchen for pennies. The other gets a barcode and a margin. Walk into any health food store today. Look at the supplement aisle. You will see aged garlic extract, black garlic capsules, fermented garlic tinctures, fancy amber bottles with clinical sounding labels. And these products are not fake. The science behind them is real. But here is the part that should bother you. This is the exact same process your great-grandmother used. Garlic, time, controlled conditions, that's it. The industry spent decades working to change your perception, pushing you away from home fermentation, making it seem complicated, unsanitary, and dangerous, or simply a relic of the old-fashioned past. And now that consumers are waking up and noticing, leading to the ultimate failure of processed food systems. The very same industry is selling fermentation once again, bringing it back to you in capsule form. They removed the knowledge from your kitchen. Then they monetize that same knowledge and put it on a clinical retail shelf. But you're not just buying a product. You're reclaiming something that was always yours. Something that was always yours from the start. So it's time to take it all back. Here's how you actually do this. Offering you 2 simple versions to choose from, both simple enough to start today. Version 1, honey fermented garlic. This is the easiest entry point. You need 2 things, a jar and ingredients. 1 full head of garlic, cloves peeled and separated, and raw, unfiltered honey, not the processed squeeze bottle kind. You need raw honey because it still contains the wild yeasts and enzymes that drive fermentation. Start with a clean glass jar, not plastic, glass. Plastic holds on to bacteria you don't want. Wash the jar with hot soapy water, rinse it with white vinegar, let it air dry completely. Place your peeled garlic cloves into the jar, fill it roughly 2/3 of the way. Pour raw honey over the cloves until they are covered, until they are fully submerged. Stir gently to release any air pockets. Loosely place the lid on top. Do not seal it tight yet. You need the jar to breathe for now, for the first few days. Over the next 1 to 2 weeks, you will notice the honey thinning out. Bubbles will begin to form around the garlic. The garlic cloves will slowly darken. Flip the jar upside down once a day to keep the cloves coated. Around day 14, taste 1 clove. It should be mild, slightly sweet, with none of that sharp raw garlic heat. That mellow flavor is the S-allylcysteine doing its job. You can keep the jar going for months. The longer it ferments in the jar, the more complex and medicinal it becomes. Eat 1 to 2 cloves every morning. Use the honey in salad dressings. Drizzle it on cheese for a snack. Add it to sauces for extra flavor. Nothing in the jar goes to waste. Version 2, apple cider vinegar garlic. This version moves faster and produces a sharper, more savory result. You need 1 head of garlic, peeled, and enough raw apple cider vinegar, with the mother still in it, to fully submerge the cloves. Same process for the jar, just clean it well. Pack in your garlic cloves. Pour the apple cider vinegar over the top. Make sure every clove is fully covered. Seal the jar and store it in a cool, dark place for a minimum of 1 week. 2 weeks is better. The vinegar will mellow the garlic significantly. Use these cloves in cooking, chopped into marinades, pressed into sauces, then sliced onto healthy grain bowls. The vinegar itself becomes a powerful brine you can use as a base for salad dressings. A few important notes for both versions. Never use tap water in or around your jar if your tap is chlorinated. Chlorine is designed to kill bacteria, including the beneficial ones you're cultivating. Keep your jars out of direct sunlight. And if you ever see fuzzy mold, not just darkening, but actual fuzzy growth, discard it and start clean. A properly made batch will not mold, it will ferment. You do not need a specialty store. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need a subscription box, or a wellness coach to guide you, or a $40 bottle with a logo on it. You need a jar, you need garlic, you need honey or vinegar, and you need about 10 minutes. What your ancestors understood, and what the modern food system quietly worked to make you forget, is that the most powerful things are almost always the simplest. Fermented garlic is not a trend. It is a tool that has been field tested by ordinary people for thousands of years, and it costs almost nothing to reclaim. So go get a jar, peel some garlic, pour in the honey, and let time do what it has always done. If this video gave you something useful, hit like and subscribe to Forbidden Amish Roots. We'll see you in the next one.